the actual truth part is, at least one of the partial truth is that you're saying that you like the part where the girl is killing this guy.
I like that.
So believe me that this was my central scene and everything else was constructed around it. So you are my core audience. Thank you so much for noticing that. Secondly, when you said the story behind this guy, so probably you missed the conversation in the very beginning. This guy starts the saying with this. Lots and lots of types of, I won't say kinks, there are proper, I've read about them, obviously I've not done them. So asphyxiation is something that is one of the terms which is used. So people, they choke themselves only and then they probably indulge in all of these activities, sexual activities. So this cuts off supply to your brain, oxygen supply. So you feel more euphoric. So the kind of orgasm that you have, you don't normally will not have. That's the at least theory, or at least that's what they say. This is one example, but there are lots and lots and lots of things. It's a different altogether. So this guy's addiction is he likes to choke other people. That's what gives him that feeling of arousal. And now he has fallen in love for the first time. And he can't have sex without choking the other person because he will not feel aroused. And if he does,
why he cannot call girl and just have a bed and have proper pleasure, Why he was doing a
that's the thing about addiction. That it does not have any justification why people do what they do. They know that it is bad for them.
Yeah.
Be it anything, call it smoking, and there are socially acceptable and unacceptable form of addictions also. For example, coffee. It's a universal, the entire
tea also.
Professional world will collapse if you switch off those vending machines for tea or coffee or whatever it is. Some people can't start their mornings. Now, it's the same thing you are asking them. Why do you not do it? Garam pani piyo na, chai piyo na, coffee piyo. But it is the thing. And the second part, something that you touched upon, that was that सब हमारे हाथ में और सब हमारे दिमाग में ऐसा 100% true नहीं है. Mostly yes, because these are physio psychological problems, as in physical symptoms you will have, psychological symptoms you will have. For example, when somebody is leaving alcohol, for sure, somebody who is a acute alcohol drinker and he or she leaves that, their body will start trembling.
Yeah, shivering. Yeah.
Right, that is a physical reaction which is happening. The psychological reaction that he won't be able to sleep properly, he won't be able to concentrate, he will feel very much anxiety all the time. Right, those are psychological issues. Both are too different. Now, when you say that we have control over this thing, I'm sorry, but you don't have control over biological those reactions or anything that happens. Probably if you're a strong-willed person or strong-brained person, that is a different kind of psycho altogether. Somebody having so much control over on your own self. That again, another end of it. So it is not simply this. Another thing which you said was, again, when I wrote it in 2016, there was, everything was beginning. YouTube was not that famous, Amazon was not, just came, Netflix came in 16, 17. And this amount of, what do you call that, information reach, it wasn't there. So many people did not have, what do you call that, smartphones. So this barrage of flood of activities did not happen. But I think it is going to stand because it stands even without it. And in the last year when I've been taking this film to other film festivals, and this particular part comes when this guy is looking at the billboards and everything. So it is like this. When you become conscious of your own self, for example, if you remember yourself being a teenager or coming into teenage and being conscious of your own self, for example, I was giving this example to someone. So you will notice, okay, I have, mera naak lamba hai. Yeah, my nose mota hai. Then all of a sudden you start seeing everybody else's nose. Another one, that you buy new shoes, let's say. At least for a day or two, you will be noticing other people's shoes, although you have a tunnel vision now. That your brain is focused on things, on that particular thing. So this guy, when he is trying, he has accepted. So the cycle of addiction starts with accepting that I have a problem, I have this addiction. This film is starting from there. Everybody is accepting. The girl is saying, okay, I've quit. This guy is going to the doctor, okay, I want to quit. Then why is he jerking off? Because he can't have without choking he won't have it. So the doctor is saying go back to before you started doing all of this. Normal people क्या करते हैं?
Correct.
तो वैसा कुछ जब तुमने शुरू किया होगा टीनेज में कभी कुछ तो, so start from there. Go back to your own self. That's what the doctor says. Maybe touch yourself a little. So even when he's touching himself, he cannot get an arousal if he's not going to look at somebody being choked, right? This kind of thing. So he's fixated to that particular whatever his psychosis is. I'm sorry, I lost what I was saying, but I think did I answer most of it?
Yeah, you finished almost 90%. I want to ask you the story which you made it. I am a journalist, you have to tell me the truth.
Yeah.
Is this ये स्टोरी आपका किसी के
ऑटोबायोग्राफिकल
आसपास कोई था?
नहीं ऑटोबायोग्राफिकल
मुझे बता दो, मुझे बता तो मैं इसको और अच्छे से
I'll tell you the origin of. So the first thing, so it's a good story.
Yeah, it is. But I wanted to know, is this a real story of somebody's life?
It is not. It is. I have film references I can give you.
तो ये create कैसे हुआ इतना कैसे आया?
So this part, when I said the very first thing that it is made for you in particular, this girl is going to kill this guy, this molester or rapist. That started from Nirvaya. Whenever that happened, I don't remember the year, 11-ish or 9 or what year it was. For the first time, being a patriarchal society, everybody knows their male privileges and everything. And we are pretty much used to it. But when that happened for the first time, I felt ashamed being a male. And it was a general anger that everybody was feeling. And my thing just came out into this writing. I was trying to write something since back then, 2011 or something. I was trying to write, but my climax is this only. I am trying to reach to this particular climax. So it was always going to be a girl who will always going to be killing a rapist. That was that. Then now I'll tell you what the biographical or semi-autobiographical part is. So around 10, 11, 12, I think I was also into this addiction, particular this thing. I was borderline alcoholic. Smoking up as well, and that's what it was. And I realized that this thing is sort of hampering me, and I should be doing something else when I'm spending my time. I could be writing, then spending 5-6 hours doing this, which amounts to nothing. So, and then there was everybody knows Eminem. An album came out back then called The Relapse. And this guy wrote it from the perspective of a serial killer. If you hear the lyrics also. So the relapse name and the phenomena that I was going through, I'm trying to quit, but 2 दिन से ज़्यादा हो नहीं पाएगा. During that phase, the longest I went was 3 months. I quit alcohol, I quit smoking up all of a sudden. And it was an emotional thing. My grandfather has passed away, so I thought, I was very close to him, so I thought it is time.
So you must be also facing that problem, like getting that sensation to do again same thing.
Yeah. I was, but then I took I won't do it at all. I started going to the gym. I believe me or not, but I did. 3 months straight off. But what happens after 3 months that I get a dream. In the dream, I am drinking and I'm smoking out. And when you are in the dream, everything feels so fucking real. So when I smoked up and I had that sensation, I don't know, my body felt it in the dream. And when I woke up next morning, I couldn't get it out of my head. The whole day I struggled with it, but by the end of it, I could not. I went up and drank again. So that dream sequence is coming from there.
So good, from that things, at least your things has come out.
Yeah. So this is how it is semi-autobiographical that way.
Yeah.
And then why this guy has to be, because his addiction could have been anything else.
Correct.
Could have been, and it would have worked. But just because I had this, I'm a huge fan of serial killer genre per se. So I wanted to introduce. So there are lots of things which I blended together.
So this is your first?
This is my
first project. And you did it with these people. Now how you going to explore this more, promote more? Because this is a lovely message for all the youngsters. They should get it. So have you have any big plan for doing this promotions to get more people spread and people should know about it कि भाई ऐसा भी होता है ये है.
Well, we have worked really hard, and as I said, it took me 7 years to finish this thing. So obviously, I would want everyone to watch it.
So this is a small short films.
It's a short feature, is what I call it.
Why don't you make it into a good big film?
No, this is it. I'm not going to touch it.
But this won't be come to the theater and all.
No, it probably will come to some OTT or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talking about like both of you, like how did you approach him for this particular role, and like how all these things happened? Like I'm very curious to know about that. Yeah, because casting is very important in every film. So yeah, how did this happen?
So, March of 2016, I wrote the first draft. By July, I had written the fourth draft, and now I knew that it is final. I was trying to make it as short as possible without leaving the essence of it. Then I started casting. Casting is the first thing I started doing. And as you can see, there are 17 characters in the film. I had already, and it took me about, I was around 8 months or something. I was just on my own. I like started posting it on Facebook. I'm not from film industry. I'm a software engineer. So I did not know anything to, all I had the script, so Facebook, WhatsApp, I did not even have WhatsApp, so Facebook was the only thing I posted. So somebody took a screenshot and sent it to Myra, the girl who played. So that's how I met her. She was the first person I casted because I knew she is the, the most vulnerable character of the film, or so you can say, the soul of the film is that.
Yeah, indeed she is.
Yeah, so this guy, and I had then, because I sort of got tired of it, and I just casted someone there, but I was not too happy about it. And then so happens that I right here, it was his office. I'm sure I don't know if you guys know him. Ashok Puran sir. He's a theatre actor, director, veteran. I approached him because somewhere I met him, and he just gave me his number. And this guy was very conscious about this, like whatever he's gonna pick up. We met at his office, Ashok Puran sir's office. He was there. I narrated the script in front of him. I was sweating. This stature of a person, I was for the first time. And he liked it. He liked it. So because he liked it, he said yes. Otherwise, he wouldn't have had. And it was gonna be his first film, both of ours first film that he at least signed. It took me 7 years, but this guy, yeah. And it was supposed to happen, I suppose. When you're going through it, it all feels shitty and all. But now that we are here, I can count my blessing, and he's the biggest one. He is someone that I was looking for. I mean, on-screen persona, as you say. And even if I put it aside, the great job that he has done everywhere I've gone, entire India, outside of, I'm not gone, but outside the film has gone. Everybody equivocally praises his, everybody's, but his, this acting. He sort of, I don't know, absorbed this thing and he stayed with it and all the time. And as I said, I want to thank him. I always wanted to thank him in front of everyone. Like, he's sort of the kind of commitment that this guy gave. 6 to 7 years, nobody does it for a short film, like who does it? And he went overboard. Everything, like he got me to a production manager, he got me to Una, the girl who kills him. He, like a lot of things. So he's probably the second person as much as involved as I am in this project. And if it wasn't without him, it would not have been like this. So thank you so much.
Thank you. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
You guys hear me? Am I audible? आवाज आ रही है? Yeah. Okay. So when I met Naren, so Ashok Puran is my first acting teacher. I was doing Hindi theatre with him then. कहानियाँ करते थे, plays करते थे, workshops करते थे, and सीखा. I come from advertising. I had left advertising because हमेशा actor बनना था. So at a very peak of my career, I left that and I started doing acting. And I started learning from him, and that's when he told me कि नरेन करके कोई director है, और अशोक सर का वैसे ही है, वो नया director हो या established director हो, impress करो. इनका हमेशा ही. So I met him at a cafe and मैं सीखा. I was learning acting. And it will not be honest of me if I tell you the preparation that I went through then, because I was just getting introduced to the universe of acting. In fact, I remember when I met him, he gave me a list of films to watch, which were new to me, right? And 7 years has been a long time, and that there has been a growth. But then I was just adapting to the idea of what Naren has presented to me, and the only thing that I had in mind is that while I understand that there are people who are influenced by the web in an adverse way, in an otherwise way, an untoward way. For me, this was that this guy is actually willing to change. He's making an effort to change because he's in love. So for me, the only thing that I have to do now is bring out his love.
He kept on saying that this is a love story.
It's a love story.
Okay, it's a love story.
Because he's genuinely in love, which is why he was making effort. But as Naren said, and I stand corrected, you mentioned that our biological impulses sometimes take the best of us. And that's what happens. So a guy with a good intention, trying to seek help. So the only thing that I work on is, and the only thing that with Kira that I associated with or related to or found within me was the love that he has.
Okay, adding to my previous question, so how difficult it is being an actor to get into someone else's character, like someone else's skin, and then to like just cut to you're doing something else or doing like how difficult it is or how challenging it is like for an actor to do such roles.
Balancing character. Your own self and the character.
Yeah. And also if you're doing some other projects, like how difficult it is like between the cuts and the
and get out of go in and out of
how difficult it is.
So at the time when I was working with Naren, he would seldom let you get out of the character because he comes and has conversations with you which are in way segment to Kira, and the things that he makes you do and all of that. So on his set per se, it wasn't. We were with the character. He was with the story, he was with the character, I was with the character. We really didn't allow ourselves. Plus, we are a short film, so we didn't have the luxury of, finding to do something else at that point in time, another project, and coming and working on his set.
Where, in a bare room, with just the actors, the reverse is. There are lots of things which I know that I improvise, which will not come earlier, but we rehearse it.
You rehearse, and then as you grow, as you work more, you understand that when you have done enough work on the character, you forget all of that, you come on set, you be in the moment, and you go back.
Also, like Sir mentioned about his personal experience, and also Ma'am mentioned about his surroundings, about like pleasure thing or like whatever like. So, did you have any personal experience? Not like with you, but like with your surroundings, like your friend, someone went through situation. So, question is like,
how much is autobiography?
no, it's like yeah. Like, have you seen someone going through that, like your friend or someone like that?
No, I haven't come across anyone personally. I haven't met anyone like this. But as ma'am said, we all have tried to. I had a breakup, a very bad breakup back in college. So मुझे लगा था सब खत्म हो गया, and this is the end. And I tried to also. I didn't have the party because even then the actor would be like, अरे यार दाग पड़ जाएगा.
This is the reason.
Any actors here?
They would know.
पता है ना वो? तो वो तो उसमें अगर आ गया तो फिर नहीं मिलेगा. Right? So no personal experience. I don't know anyone. But yeah, there are a bunch of things that everyone goes through while growing up.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right?
Absolutely.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Everyone goes through.
So talking about the film BGM, like how much thought was put into the BGM because the background music is really amazing.
Thank you so much. Ramon will be glad to hear it. Ramon Abrajan is the music director. Of course, it was in his good hands. But I had some ideas, and I'm obviously influenced by everything that I've seen before. So yes, there are things that we have done with the music. For example, I'll tell you what we've done. It's like, just like in the story, you put breadcrumbs for the audience to follow. So the full-fledged attack music is going to come in the end. But we are putting bits and pieces of that scene, that music in the very first, when he's describing that, okay, this is the addiction I have, I choke people and all that. So the choking, the music that comes when he's actually choking, bits and pieces, nuggets of it is there. Then the romantic music which is there when Una is, after killing him, Una is standing in front of there. So that little piece of music is over there. So yeah, you try to build things like that.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for your lovely time.
There's one last thing I would like to say. I missed it when I was saying it. Again, when I have been going through rest of the country, I really, again, I did not write it from the point of view that someday there will be smartphones and everybody will be after it, but I really do feel bad about kids. They are the worst affected by that, because I truly believe that whatever you put in your body is actually going to, it's going to reflect. अगर आप कचरा डालोगे तो कचरा ही होगा. The same thing is for brain as well. I mean, पुराने decade before आपको अच्छी किताबें पढ़ने के लिए बोला जाता था. माँ बाप या आपके सब लोग भी कहते थे कि you read good literature, don't read these trashy novels or anything else. But these days, they are so exposed, they have nowhere to go. And just to make matters worse, parents are giving mobile phones to their children just to distract them. कि उसको खाना खा दो, उसके बिना खाना नहीं खाता बच्चा. अभी से. Now, can you imagine growing up like 5 years or 10 years old is going to be the impact on him? So, I mean, if somebody, I hope that parents watch it and they take something out of it.
No, I'm really upset. The whole social media is the worst thing which is making everybody.
Again, part of the blame lies with the parents.
I have seen many of my friends. They are watching sex videos. I mean, this is so funny. They're just watching sex videos whole night. What is this craze? I mean, I could not give you few people's name. I mean, he's a very big casting producer. His father is a very older guy and he's watching. देख रहे थे ऐसे what is this craze? I mean, come on, this is it's a frustration, maybe you can say. It's a frustration. This is a wild kind of frustration जो उन लोग ऐसे निकालते हैं अपना frustration इस तरह से.
Again, old लोग मैं नहीं जाऊँगा. I'm just concerned कि they don't even know what it is और उससे पहले वो expose हो जा रहे हैं उसी से इतना ज़्यादा. That's anyways.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah.